Well guys, it looks like the hits just keep on coming for Resident Evil fans this year, and especially fans of the Resident Evil 4 remake, which should probably be everybody because it was fantastic. But we did receive the new trailer for Resident Evil 4 Remake VR mode, and my goodness, does it ever look sick. So this shouldn't really come as too big of a surprise considering they did the VR for the original Resident Evil 4. Sort of, I would say that was probably like a testing ground, or proving ground you might say, for this new VR mode for Resident Evil 4 Remake. Now, the trailer did show off quite a bit of stuff, and it all looks really juicy, and many of these cool things that were shown in the trailer were the boss fights. So we got to see the likes of Mendez, El Gigante, Jack Krauser coming face to face with you in first person through PSVR 2. So that should be a pretty shocking experience to say the least, fighting those guys in first person in VR mode. So seeing your favorite weapons being used in VR looked really cool in the VR version of the original Resident Evil 4, and it's just going to look that much better with these new graphics in the remake, fighting off baddies, doing all the puzzles, everything. It's going to look sick. And a big thing to note from the trailer is we will also have the ability to dual wield just like we did in the first Resident Evil 4 VR mode from the original. So if you're like me and you've played the game multiple times already, this should add a pretty interesting twist and just be generally a new way to enjoy what was probably the best horror game of the year. I mean, it's not very often that you get 10 out of 10s from IGN, so yeah, that's probably just labeled as the best horror game of the year. I think we can all agree on that. So this would be a great way to experience it all over again from an entirely new perspective. I think what would be really cool, especially my personal take, the final boss fight against Sadler, up on with the cranes and everything like that, just suspended up in the air. I think that is going to be so freaking cool in VR in the remake with the new graphics and everything. It's going to look so good. And we've also seen looks at different weapons, from the handguns, the crossbow, everything like that. Knife fighting should be really cool in VR. Now, the important thing to note here is this is PSVR 2, so it's only going to be available for PlayStation 5 owners, so sorry to Xbox and PC players. If you do have Resident Evil 4 on those consoles, you're going to have to stick to the classic third-person over-the-shoulder view. But for PS5 owners, this is really cool and really exciting for you guys. I myself am an Xbox Series X owner, so I will not be playing this, unfortunately. But for the PS5 owners, it looks really cool. I'm very excited for you guys. I'm a little bit jealous. Now, the very cool thing about this DLC, if you can call it that, it's more of an update because it is entirely free. It's a free update that's going to go to all PS5 owners of Resident Evil 4 Remake on December 8th. So you'll be able to get your hands on this very soon, and I can't wait to see more gameplay of this because, as I mentioned from the trailer, it looks really good. And I'm kind of hoping that they will also do this for the Separate Ways DLC, because that storyline was just so good. I mean, that was probably one of the best Resident Evil DLCs of all time, and one that I think would work so freaking well in VR. I mean, imagine fighting it in VR. That would just be incredible, because what they did with that boss in this remake and the new expansion was just fantastic. Seeing it in VR would be so damn cool. Running through the laser room with Ada in VR, that would be awesome. So hopefully, maybe down the line, we will see VR added for Separate Ways too, but as of right now, I believe it's just for the main storyline, which is really good. No complaints there, and it's going to be awesome. Getting to resume the role of Leon Kennedy again and enjoy all these scary moments from Resident Evil 4 in VR, going to be awesome. So what do you guys think of this new update that's coming out for Resident Evil 4 Remake? Are you going to try the VR, or are you also like me where you're an Xbox or a PC owner and you can't and you really wish you could? Maybe give me your thoughts down in the comments, guys, and I will see you next time. Thanks as always for watching.